Hi there, this is Toby Green and you're listening to The Green Room with Tom Green and Jacob Gaynor. Stay tuned.
Oh, coffee's for a week for that, mate.
The bye break's over. We're back at work. Tom, good to see you again. How was your little break or your weekend off?
Lovely to see you as well, Jacob. Welcome back to all our viewers as well. Yeah, it was fantastic, mate. I just hung around here in Sydney. Wasn't a massive break. I think our bye during the year, around 16 or whenever it is, that'll be a bigger break. But
it's a long way away, isn't it?
yeah, it is. But that's all right. We don't really need we don't need a break that early in the year. So that was good. Had the weekend off.
Speak for yourself. I needed a spell.
Needed a chop out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was good. Went to what did I do? I went to a rugby league game. Went to Manly versus the Raiders.
Go the Raiders.
Yeah, unfortunately the Raiders, what they served up was pus, but I back Ricky Stewart's. He wasn't happy with the refereeing, and it was. I'm obviously a biased Raiders fan, but didn't think he gave the boys much of a look in, so that was pretty disappointing. But
he tells it how it is, Ricky Stewart. He's not afraid to be fined.
Yeah, you say tells it how it is or tells it how he sees it. That's not always necessarily.
That's true.
Those two things aren't necessarily the same, but I love his passion. His passion's so good. And yeah, that's sort of what I got up to. What about yourself, Jacob?
I'm just seeing how much Ricky Stewart's been fined in his life.
Yeah, it'll be quite a bit.
Here you go. The NRL is currently examining Ricky Stewart's post-match comments following Canberra's loss to Manly as officials decide whether to add to the coach's already $160,000 in career fines.
Yeah, it makes
that is so much.
It makes the total. Well, it dwarfs the total that Toby's paid, and Toby's paid a lot in fines himself. So
yeah, Toby's paid a lot.
I don't think Toby's paid $40,000 yet in fines on field, which means that Ricky Stewart's got that times by 4.
Which is insane. To be fair, he's about 40 years older than Toby.
Yeah, well, I think, Ricky's obviously just from coaching for a long period of time.
Toby Green has now been fined $44,000.
See how I'm a guru?
You said under 40.
Yeah, okay, I said about 40.
You said under.
I said about 40.
So, you're not a guru.
Anyway, what did you get up to? You haven't even told us. What did you do on your bye break?
Well, I went camping.
By the way, we love Ricky Stewart's passion. That's the main point here. I love the passion.
We love Ricky Stewart. We love the Raiders.
Yeah, we love everything.
We love
Canberra.
referees.
And umpires.
And umpires, of course. Weekend was good. I went camping.
Where?
In the Blue Mountains by myself on the Friday.
Bit of soul searching.
You said I don't.
Bit of soul searching.
Just a lot of reflection time. I couldn't find myself. No, quite a story for you actually, Tom.
Love this.
So you said last week you didn't think I was a camper.
Yeah, well, just
which is wrong.
Well,
like, I'm a massive camper.
I'll own up. I was wrong.
Yeah,
just like me a little bit.
Get to know me a little bit better. So got up in the morning on Friday. We had the Friday off. Friday, Saturday. Yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just stuff. And decided to take myself camping into the Blue Mountains. So I was going Friday night, Saturday night was the plan.
Did you, out of curiosity, are you like one for, not that I'm encouraging sort of going away from like proper camping sites and, sort of running your own show, but did you maybe do that?
What?
As in or did you go and camp at specified campgrounds or did you just sort of bush bash, find your own spot and camp?
Yeah, it's just find your own spot.
Yeah.
That's part of the adventure, though.
As in, see, again, I like camping that way. Like, I prefer not being at a campground or whatever with other people.
I'm a big fan of Reflections Caravan Parks because they're our sponsor, but I prefer bush.
So am I also. But caravan parks outside of that.
But I prefer like going off grid.
Yeah.
So not sure. I actually haven't told you this. So I sold my car, right?
Well, I saw you made a purchase.
Yeah. Let's get to that.
Sorry. There's a lot to get through, clearly, isn't there?
Oh, and I'm sure people are just hanging on for this story. No, so I had a beautiful Kia Seltos that I bought a couple of years ago, brand new, and it served me well, but it wasn't really what I needed because I love going off grid and camping, and I've taken it places that probably necessarily shouldn't have gone. I've taken it forward driving.
You've beaten it up a little bit.
But it looks good.
Yeah.
But I've taken it on the beach. Like I've taken it places a 2-wheel drive should not go.
Yeah.
Right. So I was like, this will be my last weekend with this car. This will be really nice. I'm going to go camping. It's got like a good setup. I had an awning and I put the kayak on the roof and there's plenty to do.
Nice.
Right? Yeah. Like the setup was immaculate.
Did you use the kayak?
Yep. Beautiful.
Great.
Went down the creeks and a few rivers. It was really nice. Really nice. So I packed the bags.
Maybe I need to go camping with you one time. You're running a pretty good setup here.
I've got a good setup. And
Yeah.
now it's better, but we'll get to that.
We will. Continue, sorry.
But so, head out to the Blue Mountains. I'm packed up, and where I was staying, it was like all the images on Google were like fine, but it was like 4-wheel drives, like
Required.
encouraged.
Oh, right, encouraged, okay.
2-wheel drives, yeah, you could try.
You can pinch hit, but
Yeah.
yeah,
And I
right.
had a 2-wheel drive. So it's like 2.5 hours out of Sydney, and then you get onto this like dirt road, and it's like 15, 20 Ks on this dirt road. You're going pretty slow, so it takes a while. Start going and like a little bit dodgy in some certain areas. Maps wasn't great. You got to try and like find your way. And I start getting around and it's fine. And then I get all the way down. If there's probably a few areas I'm going, ooh, probably shouldn't drive past this, but we'll get it done. Keep driving around down. And then I come to this river crossing. And I was like, ooh, the images on Google was like pebbles.
Yeah.
Like anyone's car could get across. This was a river.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm by myself
Yeah.
and my car is not a 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
So I get out, strip down to my jocks, and I would walk through it just to see how
Yeah.
deep it is and if I could get it. I'm not very tall, as we all know. So I walk through. It's up to my waist. And my car's not getting through that.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's fine. I can't get to where I wanted to camp, but there was like still some beautiful river that I was like, I'll camp alongside that.
Yeah.
Go back a couple of Ks, a couple of 100 meters, camp, set up for the night, went kayaking, went for a walk, went for a run the next day, made a beautiful dinner, read my book. Like it was wholesome.
Yeah,
So
wow.
nice. Just a perfect little escape from social media. That's all I do, as we all know, for a
Yeah.
living. So it was nice to escape that a little bit. Anyway, I wake up the next morning, go for another walk, start cooking myself some breakfast, having a coffee, and then a 4-wheel driver. So there's a lot of 4-wheel drive trucks around there. A 4-wheel drive came down and he came and spoke to me. He's like, hey, mate, how you going? I was like, yeah, good, mate. How are you? And he looked at my car and he's like, wow, you've done well to get that down here. And I was like, oh, thank you. And he goes, no, like seriously, you got some balls on you. And I was like, oh, thanks. And he goes, oh, by the way, there's some rain coming. I'd
Yeah.
suggest getting out because you're not going to be able to get out. Like,
That's what I was going to ask you. So, yeah, there you go.
he's like, how long are you planning on staying? I was like, I was going to stay tonight and then go home tomorrow. And he goes, oh, I'd suggest getting out because it's going to rain.
Yeah.
And then like, it was dodgy getting in. So I was like,
Rain on the way
I can't
up the
afford
two-wheel
rain.
drive. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't afford, and it's like steep.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, okay, I'll go. So like, wasn't in a rush or anything. I couldn't even see a cloud. Start packing up, slowly packing up the car, putting the kayak back on the roof and the swag back in the car and all this. Start driving. It probably rained for like 5-10 minutes. Not heavy, just rain. Making my way through the tracks, like it's still beautiful. And then I get to this stretch of road, probably about 200 meters, just mud, just like pure mud. And I was like, that looks dodgy. And I'm probably like a K, 2 Ks off the highway. Like I'm so close to getting out.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I floor it, I'll get there. So I take a deep breath.
Was this stuff steep, or was it just you
No,
thought
it's
you just
so
get
flat.
bogged?
It
You
was
just
so
thought
flat.
you'd get bogged.
I didn't think I'd get bogged. Like it was just dodgy road. Like
So
it was
you
just
didn't
slippery.
think you would? Does that mean that?
Yep. So I floor it. I get about 150 meters into this 200 meter stretch, and my car is like, it's fishtailing a little bit, but I feel like I'm in control. And then all of a sudden, I just completely slip off the road, completely into this little mud hole. And I stopped, and I was like, if I spin my tires here,
I'm going down.
I'm going down.
Yeah.
So I got out, had a look around, put some rocks and some sticks under the tires to
Yeah.
get some traction, get back in, and I'm just going, please. Like I'm by myself. I have seen one person this whole weekend,
Yeah.
and he told me to leave, so he's probably gone. And I put my foot on the accelerator, and my car just buries itself, like straight down. And I'm going, oh my God. Called my uncle, who's like into forward driving and things like that, and knows what he's talking about. Didn't answer. So I'm there. I'm trying different things. I called Tuddy. Don't know why.
He's useless.
What's he going to do? So like, I think it just made me feel better to talk about it because I didn't want to call mum or dad or anyone. So I start calling, and then like, he's giving me advice, and that's not working. I've got like a shovel, and I'm trying to dig mud out.
Yeah.
Car is going nowhere.
Did you let any air out of your tires? Is that a little bit of what you
No,
meant to do
I think
as
that's
well?
what you could do.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
Yeah.
So I'm not moving anywhere. Like I'm fully stuck. And then probably like 20 minutes later, this 4 drive comes through.
Yeah.
He's probably your age, like mid-20s, gets out.
Also your age, but anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I'm late 20s, mate. it's time we accept the fact. That's why I was soul searching in the bush.
Yeah, but there's not that much time in between us. It's like if you just said like, about our age, people are going to get a rough idea.
Sorry.
Your age, acting like you're 15 years between us.
He's a young butt, mate. He pulls over and he's like, "Oh, mate, like, how'd you do that?" And I was like, "Yeah, just like went hard." And his car was like, he was in a full-blown forward drive and he was like, it looked dodgy. He getting through. So he gets out and he's like, "Oh, mate, I don't know how to like get you out because you don't have any of like the hooks on your car because you're not a forward drive.
Like,
I feel like if I drag it, I'm going to break it."
You're going to rip the front.
And I've sold this car.
Yeah.
So I'm like, my head.
Oh, as in you're using it one last time, but you've already like sold it.
It's gone. So I'm like,
you can't.
This is the worst possible scenario.
Yeah.
And then, so he's like, "Do you know what you do? Call the local like community centre. They might know a local that can come help." So I was like, no worries. Perfect. Thanks, mate. He gets back in the car.
What time of the day is this as well, by the way?
Probably like 11 o'clock.
Yeah, okay. So you've got hours of daylight as well.
Yeah.
Because my other thing would have been
Plenty
like,
of time.
if this is happening at 5 PM,
Stressing.
yeah, there's also just like a sort
Really
of time
starting
limit
to
on the back end. Yeah.
Yeah, like sun's going down real quick.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, so he drives off and I call the local centre and it's like this lovely lady, Vicky, answers and she's like a mum.
Shout out
Shout
to Vicky.
I'm sure she listens.
Yeah, shout out to Vicky.
So Vicky in Lithgow at the community centre. So I call her and I'm like, fine. I'm stuck. Like, do you know anyone that can help me or what do I do? And she's like, okay, like talk me through it. I'm like, I'm here. Can't really explain where I am. And I was like, I'm in a 2-wheel drive. And she's like, oh no, a 2-wheel drive out there. And I was like, yeah. And she goes, oh my God, are you hurt? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, no, I'm completely fine. I've got food for ages. I've got a swag. Like, I'm fine. My car's not moving.
Yeah.
And she goes, I'll call around and I'll ask and I'll get back to you. But she started to stress. And then her stressing made me stressed. And then she called back in about like 10, 15 minutes and she was like, okay, I think I might have found someone. They're going to give you a call in like half an hour. And I was like, no worries. I'm just going to stick. I can't go anywhere. Anyway, so I like thanked her for her help. She sounds stressed. And then I just sat around still trying to look for little ways to get out. Completely submerged by this point. Like I'm not going anywhere. And then this other forward drive past and he was like an older bloke. And he was in like this beat up forward drive and he gets out and he's like real country. He's like, oh mate, you can't be down there, can you? Like, laughing at himself. And I'm like, yeah, that's funny, yeah. Yeah. And then he looks down and he's like, oh, I think I can help you. I think I can do it. So he puts this tarp on the ground, gets under the car and he's like looking at things he can connect to that won't break it.
Like the axles or something.
Yeah. He's like, I think I can do it safely. So he gets down, he ties a big chain to the car, moves his car, and he's like, all right, so I'm going to need you to reverse with me. And then, I was a bit stressed.
But reverse you? So he wanted to take you back the 150
I had to go
meters.
backwards. There was no way forwards.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Well, he didn't think I could get forwards.
Yeah.
So we went backwards. He got me out, which was unbelievable. He probably dragged me for another 100 meters just through mud because my tyres were still like churning everything. And then I followed him a different way out, which took another half an hour. It was a bit longer, but worth it. Yeah. And he was unbelievable.
Name?
Didn't get one.
Wow.
I know afterwards I felt awful, but like we had a great conversation.
Yeah, that's what's funny though.
He was, he was on a 6-month holiday because he had hernia surgery. Like I've got his life story. I just don't know his name.
We don't need to air out that sort of business.
Well, that's a private story. We don't know his name.
Yeah, true. You actually do know his name. You deliberately left it out so you could give those details.
Just the hernia story. And then, somehow got out and I was so relieved. And then I got on the highway.
Have you given the car a clean since then?
First thing I did. It was in one of the little towns. Cleaned all the mud off. And then I went a massive cleaning Canberra. Yeah. And
so you went to Canberra after this? Did you go
I sold it in Canberra.
Blue Mountains and then drove back to Canberra?
Yeah.
Right.
And then, so cleaned it all. It looked unbelievable when I got rid of it. Yeah. But then I gave Vicky a call back on the way home. And I was like, hey, Vicky, just letting you know I'm safe. I got out. Yeah, some kind gentleman helped me. And then she was like, oh, my goodness, thank goodness. I've been thinking about it all day. And you could tell her, tell all the girls in the office. She's like, girls, he got out. He's got out. And they're all like, woo. So shout out to the Lithgow community.
Yeah, wow. They were really invested in your safety.
So, it was a nice little weekend.
There you go. And then Canberra and
then fun new car and back here.
Yeah, wow. The new car looks cool, by the way.
Yeah, we'll go camping. And
you're certainly going to be in a better stead for something like that next time.
Yeah, now I've probably got the equipment.
Yeah. That's cool, though. That's a very eventful bye week for you. There you go.
For what was meant to be a nice little wholesome retreat, I thought my life was over at one point.
Yeah, I think you got a good balance. You got a good balance of the heart rate up and also the heart rate down. So,
Yeah.
I'm saying a successful trip.
I think it's a very successful trip.
Yep.
Speaking of trips, Tasmania this weekend.
We're off.
And we're taking a new face.
Special delivery.
Special, nice.
I sort of stole that off your
Yeah, you
Instagram
did.
post leading in. The package. Jake Stringer making his club debut. Very, very, very exciting. And we're down in Tassie. Tassie's been really good. Last year, we obviously lost a close one there. Almost exclusively thanks to me, giving away that free kick at the end.
Didn't want to bring it up,
Yeah.
but
So, it'll be good to be back there. Hawthorn are playing amazing football, so we're going to have to be at our best to beat them, and it should be a really good game, and it's nice to add. I think we're going to get a few back, which maybe we can. I think by the time this comes out, that news will probably be out. Yeah, I think Briggsy's going to be back in, which is handy, and so is Jesse Hogan. So
it's not a bad
it's
trio
nice
to
to
bring
be
back.
able to get back our number one ruckman, last year's common medal winner and an All-Australian, and Jake Stringer. So for 3 pretty reasonable ins. But it is really exciting for all of them, and particularly for myself, it's really exciting for to run out with String for the first time. He's been so good over the pre-season, and I think we've heard a lot about that now, how good he's been, how well he's fit in. So super exciting for us all to get to play alongside him, and I think he's pretty excited as well about getting their pull on the orange and charcoal for the first time.
It'll be fun. It'll be so fun, and it is a massive game, and I think that's exciting too.
Super exciting, yeah. It is. The Hawks are playing really good footy. We've had a pretty good start to the year as well, so it's an exciting game.
There's not many undefeated left. I know we had a bye.
Yeah.
But not many undefeated left. It'll be interesting.
Who else is it?
I think there's 5 all up.
Yeah, okay.
Us, Hawthorn, Adelaide.
Gold Coast, are they undefeated?
Yep. And there's another one.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Don't know. Obviously doesn't matter.
Anyway, yeah.
It's
exciting.
super exciting. It'll be a big game. Saturday night, 7:30.
Yep.
Same time as Brisbane and Geelong, so get your priorities right. Hawthorn,
Brisbane
Giants.
and Geelong is meant to be really, really wet as well, isn't it?
It just won't be fun to watch.
I think the conditions down at Tassie are meant to be immaculate as well, so we won't.
Bit cold, I've heard.
Well, even if it's going to be 15, that's not that cold. It's beautiful to play in.
Oh, once you start playing, you'll be
Yeah,
fine.
so that should be really exciting. It's going to be good. Looking forward to it.
Now, I think notoriously you're known for your love of Dua Lipa.
Yeah, that became a thing. Yeah.
And now it's almost a former thing. Talk me through not going to Dua Lipa's concert this week.
Yeah, well, I'm almost certain my friend Callum doesn't listen to this. I don't think Cal listens to In the Green Room.
No.
But, well, you were meant to go as well. We were both meant to go.
We were both meant to go.
You had an offer from...
The same people.
Yeah, exactly. From Cal and Eden. So they...
Neither of them listen, so we can say whatever we want.
Yeah, we can bag them both.
Yeah.
Nah, well,
We didn't want to go with
I
them.
saw Dua Lipa a couple of years ago when she was here, and she's come back pretty quickly, to be honest, which,
But I'm saying, like, if you're a fan,
yeah,
you're
well,
going...
well, here's my thing, right? I like her music, but I'm not really that tapped into her most recent album and that sort of stuff. And she's obviously going to play, like when I went a couple of years ago, I was more tapped into the Future Nostalgia, that old album.
Good
Not
album.
old album, but it is a good album. And I was more tapped into that sort of stuff from her. And because I haven't really given much to her last album, I thought it would just be a bit of a waste. And we had main training today. I'm still just not that far removed from a calf injury as well. So I just there's a few factors that sort of played into me being like, I'm just going to err on the side of caution here.
Yeah.
And also, like, outside of even erring on the side of caution, it's like, yeah, the reality is
don't have a chance.
well, I just, no, not that. More that I'm just not tapped in with her as much as
Wow.
I once was.
It is sad because that was quite a time. It
Yeah,
made some some
Yeah,
headlines.
it did. It made some big headlines quite bizarrely, in my opinion. But yeah.
You got to lean into it.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, before we get
Why didn't you go? Because you didn't know that I wasn't going.
I was on stress leave from the car. Before we get into questions, trending topic, red light, green light, song of the week, poem, or your favourite segments, I have a little surprise for you, Tom.
Yeah, you do. You teed me up this early in the day. I have no idea what's coming here. So
Okay, so.
wow, a package,
But
not a Jake Stringer.
Okay, so ready?
I am ready.
We're going to do our very first. Oh, no, we've done an unboxing with Speedo. Shout out
We
Speedo.
did. Shout out to Speedo.
Shout out Speedo. Right, so this is for you, Tom. Hold that.
Thank you very much. Am I opening it or am I waiting?
I'm going to read you a letter, so you can open it at
Right.
the same time. Tom, I know you have mixed emotions about your boy Luka joining the Lakers. I'm hoping this gets you on board. Love in the green room. Keep it up, and good luck for the rest of the year. Go get us that flag.
Who's this from?
This is from Dave.
from Dave. Well, Dave, thank you very, very much. Well, for our viewers at home on YouTube, will be able to see what they're looking at there. And for those who can't, that is a Los Angeles Lakers Luka Doncic jersey, which is incredible. Thank you so much to Dave. Like, I hadn't got one yet. I was umming and ahhing. And the thing is, obviously a massive Luka fan, but I'm also a Clipper, an LA Clipper fan. So I didn't really want to go out and buy Lakers paraphernalia.
It's nice.
It is really nice. I'm actually going to take 1 second to put it on. But thank you very much to Dave. That's incredible.
Isn't it?
It certainly helped me get on board. Luka played well today as well. So it's...
All right, chuck it on.
Yeah, I will. I think it's gonna.
It's a perfect size
it's gonna
too.
Fit really well too.
Well, there was a PS. If this doesn't fit, give it to someone. Wow, it does look nice. It actually is the perfect fit.
Yeah, because
you've got a shirt on too. Yeah.
So there we go.
The Lakers colours suit you.
I don't know if they suit me. I'm not necessarily going to back that from the Lakers, but there you go. Go Luka.
It's pretty special, that.
Go Luka. I'm never going to probably say go. I don't think I'm going to say go Lakers, but I'll certainly say go Luka.
That's pretty special. Shout out to Dave.
Yeah, Dave. Massive thank you. Wow, that's actually really exciting.
We do have Dave's last name. I don't know if he wants me to say it on
Yeah,
air.
we don't necessarily need to.
But we can send him a little thank you.
Yeah, we will. We will.
You can.
We'll certainly.
Got me nothing.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dave.
We'll certainly send Dave a thank you. But I do really appreciate that.
It does suit you.
Thank you.
I like
It's exciting.
All right, well, let's get to some questions. Ready?
Yep, let's go.
All right, I'm just going to get them up for you, Tom. The first one, though. Funniest thing that has happened to you on a road trip?
Funniest thing that's happened to me on a road trip. Ones that are obviously okay for the air.
Yeah, please. Ones that I don't have to media manage.
Yeah, like the Jake Stringer video.
Yeah.
Funniest thing that's happened to me on a road trip. Well, actually, this isn't a funny thing, but last time we were in Tasmania, do you remember what happened?
Oh, we got stuck.
Yeah. So fog came in, which I'm kind of worried is... Oh, in fact, we're not going to be able to fly out that night anyway. So it's not going to matter.
We're staying.
We have to. But last time we played the afternoon game and we meant to fly back to Sydney afterwards, but fog or something was setting in Launceston, and so we couldn't. But also, for some reason, I don't know if there was another game on, or for some reason we couldn't. There was no accommodation in Launceston for that night.
Yeah, you had to go to Hobart.
So we had to drive 3 hours to Hobart and then go to a new hotel and then fly out the next day, which is a bit of a pain. It's also only unique to the Sydney teams because of the curfew at Sydney Airport.
Yeah,
which is the reason
happened to us a few times in Melbourne. We haven't been able to fly back.
But often, the reason that we'll have to stay another night is because there's a curfew, which is a real pain in the backside. Which another thing that you could set me off on a rant about fixturing and just understanding that and factoring that into even the
Giants and
the times that we play.
It would happen to the Swans as well.
Yeah,
I'd assume.
So that was a bit of a pain, but that happened last time we were down in Tassie. We had to drive 3 hours to Hobart after the game when we were meant to fly back that night. We ended up having to stay another night, drive to Hobart, and it was all sort of thrown together at the last second. But that was a pretty memorable.
Were you on the trip when the bus broke down in Ballarat? On the way to Ballarat?
No, that was when I was coming back from my hamstring injury in 2023.
That was funny.
So I heard about that, but I didn't.
That was funny.
I wasn't a part of it. Yeah, that was quite funny. Trying to think of anything else. No, I think that strikes. I've played a few weird games in Tassie. I've broken my arm down in Tassie at Launceston as well, so I broke
the
my
final,
arm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, playing a juniors game there, it was one of the weirdest games of football I've ever played.
Do you remember that? Do you remember the game that you broke your arm in? Do you remember, because it was COVID, do you remember how early we got there? Do you remember everyone sleeping before the game because we got there so early? We got there hours and hours before we were meant to.
Nah, not really, to be honest. I don't remember that.
Oh, so I'll find some photos. There were players with their COVID masks over their eyes trying to sleep because we got there so early.
Yeah, it was tough times.
It was a great day.
Yeah, it ended up being a great day.
Great day.
Yeah.
What do you got for us?
Just having a look here. Top or bottom of the hot cross bun?
Oh, don't answer. I'll put that in red light, green light.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, we probably answer that bit.
No, we can save that for a bit later.
I'm going to say, okay.
Do you think we should save it?
We should probably just say it. I'm going to say bottom
What's the bottom?
of the hot cross bun.
As in, like, not the part
Like
with
the
the
actual,
cross?
like the nice, like a little bit of butter, nice and warm. The thicker part of the bread.
Yeah, but so you're just saying, like, as in basically
But I
like
don't
raisin
like-
bread.
No, see, I'm probably a bit like
But that's what a hot
No,
cross
but-
bun then is.
no, but I don't like
You're
the
gonna
hot cross
say-
buns with
You're going to say choc chip hot cross buns.
or just plain.
No, but don't hot cross buns, aren't they all?
No, they have some have the raisins or sultanas, whatever. They've
I
got
feel
in
like
it.
that's most of them. Isn't that the
Yeah, but you can get without like plain, and then you can get like the choc chip ones. I like the plain ones.
I think the ones with
There's plain ones. I promise
the
you.
ones with sultanas in them, I think are the proper ones.
Yeah, they're the
though.
proper ones. They're gross.
You're a clown.
I don't like that.
Nah,
I don't like raisin bread or like any of
raisin
that.
bread's good. Raisin toast.
Raisin toast. Like that's disgusting.
Here's one. I've actually got one here. There's a question. Cyclists riding on the road in big groups blocking traffic.
I think that's
No,
play on.
do you know what my annoyance is? I think drivers are too short with cyclists in that regard.
Oh, so short.
Like, just, like,
Share the road.
yeah, there's just space. And, like, I get it. Here's the thing, right? If there's a group of, let's say, I don't know.
A peloton.
No, if there's a group of 3 cyclists and they're riding shoulder to shoulder to shoulder, that's a little bit like, all right.
You could move.
Yeah, you can just slide in behind each other here. Like, there's no need for that.
Mhm.
But when there's a group of, like, 20, it's like, well,
They're not
they're not
going
going to
to
string
line.
out the line of 20. You know what I mean? And, like, it's not that big of an inconvenience. Just go around them a little bit. Like, people, I just think drivers carry on about it a little bit too much
I'd agree with that.
for mine. I don't know why they do, but they just really do. Jacob, you got anything for me?
Favorite boy band? Do you even know a boy band?
Big Time Rush.
Respect. Respect.
Love that show back in the day.
That was a great show. They're back together, I think.
Are they?
Yeah.
Ooh, this is a good one, actually. You would never give this airtime probably because your sister's written it in, but favourite musical, I think is a good one.
Favorite musical?
Yeah.
I do love a musical. I've seen some incredible ones on Broadway and in Sydney. Mary Poppins on Broadway was amazing. The Lion King
Yep. Lion King is
musical. I'd have to say The Lion King, I think. Or High School Musical.
good. No, I can't agree with that. I like Les Mis.
Les
I've
Mis
seen a
is
good
nice.
Les Mis, yeah.
There's another one I'm thinking of.
Do you remember there used to be like Maris used to do good musicals. Do you remember them?
Yeah, they used to be unbelievable.
There was one I can't
The
remember
production
what it
value was...
Yeah, but they were really good. But yeah, I've seen a good Les Mis actually at Capitol Theatre here in Sydney, which is good.
I do love a musical.
Yeah, but I don't think
Got
you
a
would
lot
have
of
given
time
that
for
any
them.
airtime just because your sister wrote it in. So
That's unfair.
no, it's true. As in
Yeah.
you wouldn't have given it any airtime.
I've given her questions.
Is that
airtime.
have you got that down for red light, green lights? We won't ask it.
Yep, yep.
Yeah. Okay.
All the red light, green lights are in the segment.
Yeah. All right. What have you got anything else?
No, go one more. Just pick anything.
We sort of gave this, or we didn't really give it away, but it's got the worst FIFA player at the club because you sort of said last week. Did you say on air what you just said something that space was coming?
Yeah.
I'm
But that doesn't matter. We can say who's the
actually going to say I would be the worst FIFA player at the club because I actually didn't have a.
Do you play any games?
No, not really. I didn't have a PlayStation growing up.
Which is pretty crazy because Rick is like big on it, isn't he?
Yeah, loves it. Yeah, but I would be the worst just because I never played it growing up. So I think it would have to be me, to be honest.
Crazy. All right. Well, let's go into your trending topic.
And then red light, green light.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Don't worry, mate.
Yeah, no, I'm just making sure.
I've got it here.
Just making sure you got the schedule.
Yeah. We wouldn't want to get abused like last time. Ready?
Yep.
Trending topic. What have you got,
Yep.
Tom?
Well, I've got this one actually. So I can have trending topics that are me obviously rambling about rubbish.
Most of them.
Yeah, I was going to say it's probably the majority of them.
This might be the first that's not.
But no, this one, just as a thought, as a former student of politics and international relations at UC, the federal budget came out as well 2 nights ago, I think, when we're filming this on Wednesday night. I think it came. Oh no, that's Tuesday night. No, okay. See, this is where you've got.
No, I'll listen. I'll listen.
Yeah,
I'll listen.
You've got a problem. You've got a problem with talking
Politics.
about serious topics. Yeah.
No, I actually don't. All right, go. You got my undivided attention.
No, it's not. It's not that serious. All I'm saying is, I'm never going to talk politics on this about because everyone's politics are so individual and personal that I don't think you're actually going to get anywhere arguing politics with anybody. So each to their own. I'm never going to tell anyone how to vote or anything like that. What I would recommend though is that I think a large majority of our listeners are young-ish people, they might be our age, even younger. All I would encourage, so the reason I bring this up as a student or as a former student of politics and international relations is that I think doing that helped sort of pique an interest and helped give me more information and helped make me as a younger voter, I was probably 18, 19 at the time, just help inform me on topics that are important, and different topics are important to different people. You're going to find things important that you want to vote for different to myself. But what I think young voters in particular should do is go and inform themselves, because I think you would be able to attest to this as well. There can be a little bit of as you did, you hear politics, instantly people, particularly young people, are don't care.
Next.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to think about it, don't want to talk about it, whatever. It's adult stuff, I'll forget about it, right?
Yep.
That's fine, I understand that, but also your votes do count because we have compulsory voting in Australia, which I think is also a really good thing because it means that everyone gets to have their voice heard. I think that it's just important to, instead of just voting on, I don't know, a basis that you don't know about, or go and inform yourself. Now, again, you can't give sources out for that because that will be, there's biases in media as well. So you just need to understand that when you're reading things,
they're tailored to certain.
Yeah, media that you're consuming is biased. So try and find unbiased media sources and just go and inform yourself. Whatever way you then end up feeling is the way, and that you're that way inclined to vote, do it. I just think that, particularly for young people, there can just be a tendency to blow off politics as older people stuff, boring, don't care about it, don't want to do it. My only trending topic is there is an election coming up in it hasn't been called yet, but the guess is in about
soon.
A month, 2 months, whatever. The budget's just come out. Just go and have a look at it. Go and have a look at, inform yourselves on topics and the policies that are things that you care about, and vote on that basis. I just think that there can be a large tendency for young people to not inform themselves and then just vote with, I don't know, whatever your parents vote, or you hear your mates talking, you vote with like that. Just go and inform yourself, make your own decisions on policies, and vote for what's important to you. And that doesn't have to be important to the other people, doesn't have to be the same as other people, which shouldn't be. That's not how democracy works. So go and just inform yourself is my trending topic. I think that there isn't enough dialogue, particularly for young people, about politics, and I think they just want to blow it off. So that's my trending topic. It's a little bit more serious this week, but again, it's nothing major.
I don't think that's serious.
But there's an election coming up soonish, and I just think people should go figure out what's important to you, inform yourself on the different parties and their stances on it, and go and vote accordingly, because all your votes count. And I think, it'll affect you, and you'll care about it more, and you realise maybe the more you inform yourself.
Okay. It's good.
So you instead
I
of
was actually interested.
saying it's a snooze fest,
No, I never said that.
what was that?
That was, I got something in my nose, like hay fever. All right, ready?
Yep.
Red light or green light, talking about politics.
Talking about politics, red light.
You just did it.
No, I didn't. I said go and inform yourself. I'm saying if you be honest.
You need to stop swallowing so much.
Is there anything worse than talking about someone who feels really passionately either way,
About politics.
yeah, someone who feels really strongly about politics and is not, you're allowed to feel strongly about it, but when I try and enforce my views on you, is there anything worse?
Red light.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying red light. So that's my thing as well. I'm not then encouraging people to go and inform themselves and then tell everyone they need to vote this way. Don't do that. Go and inform yourself on politics. Go and vote about things that are important to you, and let other people do the same thing. So when people are talking about politics, trying to push their politics onto you, red light.
Okay. Hot cross buns.
Green light. Do we not have? And this is what I
without the
love
fruit.
about this podcast as well.
It goes from
Go
one end of
that,
the spectrum.
yeah. Hot cross buns.
It's politics. So hot cross buns in summer.
Red light and all
What?
variety. No, sorry, green light. Apologies.
Oh my goodness.
Apologies. No.
That was the headline.
Yeah, hot cross buns, green light, all varieties though, because you're gonna say like my favorites are the ones with the
Fruit.
yeah. Sultanas in them. Love the choc chip ones, plain
Choc
ones.
chips are good.
Even though they're a thing to be honest, but
So just try one. I mean, it's just bread.
yeah, I know it's gonna be fine.
It's good. Really good.
My mum a couple of times made homemade hot cross buns.
From scratch.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
I don't think my mum's done that.
yeah.
She does listen, so sorry if you have, mum.
Yeah, they clearly weren't that
Don't
memorable to you.
think so. I think more Baker's Delight.
Yeah, no, they're still like, as in, you know, they weren't exactly a staple all the time,
Do
but
you-
mum had a go at them. Yeah.
Are you? This is a bit of a segue, but do you eat bread?
Yeah, like I don't eat heaps and heaps of bread.
So you
but I
don't
eat a
like go
little bit.
buy a loaf of bread?
Rarely.
Yeah, okay.
Why's that?
Well, when I went back to Canberra, Mum and Dad had like Baker's Delight bread,
How good, man.
and I was just like, "This is how the other half lives." Like,
Yeah.
I can't afford this, but
It's so good.
it's just so different.
Yeah, it is. Instead of like, oh, I don't want a can of brand, but like if you go to Woolies,
Well,
and
just
then
in case
buy-
we get sponsored by
yeah,
bread company.
exactly. But no, the Baker's Delight bread.
Shout out Baker's Delight.
Yeah, shout out.
Shout out. Not having your phone on Do Not Disturb.
We've already talked about this because you do it and it pisses me all the way off. Red light.
Green.
No, red lights like, but obviously you need to put it on sometimes, like meeting, sleep, whatever. But like you leave your phone on D&D all day and it's so annoying.
No phone case.
Well, I'm like we're the two ends of the spectrum here. We can show like I've got a case on and you don't have a case on, but I think was it no case?
No case.
For me, it's a green light. I used to be like that big time.
I do remember that.
Yeah, and I still stand by it a bit. Like I've just got one now just to like sort of make
Well, you
sure.
would have bought the phone with the case, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm a bit of a like I back this. I actually back that.
Well, I've had my phone without a case for 2 years, I reckon.
And you have no cracks.
I don't have a
nothing.
screen protector
Also,
or
like,
anything, and it's
God, it looks slick. Like
it looks a lot better.
It looks so slick. The no case makes it look so slick.
but it is a little bit risky considering
Yeah, it can be. Clearly, got
my
safe
career
hands,
is on
though.
this little
Clearly
thing.
got safe hands though.
I do have safe mitts,
Yeah.
best mitts in the game. Boots with the built-in socks. I'm assuming they're like those soccer
Yeah,
ones.
no, I remember. Red light for me. I'd never wear them.
I'd go red light too. I wouldn't wear them.
Yeah.
How exciting did it used to be, like going to buy new boots?
Best thing ever.
Do you remember the ones? Did you ever have the ones with the tongue that went around you, like with the elastic?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
have
do
that?
know the ones you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they came out, I was like, "This is so
The best
sick."
thing ever, yeah.
12
No,
months
New
later,
boots is
next.
the best feeling. New boots still is the best feeling in the whole world. How did we even get to that, by the way? We were talking about
Phone
the
cases.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think you just brought that up.
No, I didn't. Did I?
Yeah. I know it was the
No, we
socks.
talked
yeah,
sock,
yeah.
yeah.
Sorry.
I was like, "There's no way." I
It's
just
happened
said,
to my brain. Yeah.
"No case." So boots.
Yeah. Yeah, with the inner built socks, for me, that's a red light.
Okay, and this one's from Tilly, who just joined the Giants media team.
Yep.
Shout out to you, Tilly.
Shout out to Tilly.
Welcome to
Does
the
a
club.
lot of great work.
Does a lot of great work. Welcome to the family. She says, taste testing more than 2 flavors of ice cream. That's a massive red. I actually didn't ask if she did this. Red.
Yeah, I'm going to say red.
That's just you trying to get free stuff.
Nah, no. What do you mean? Well, like, yeah, but like, now, you know what, actually? Sorry. It's a bit of green light. Like, it's it's poor behavior, but I back it. Like, which isn't necessarily a great reflection, but like,
Of you as a person.
yeah, but like it's sort of annoying for the person. You're clearly just trying to like try everything and get a bit more. But like
I actually...
sometimes if you've never been to some like a good ice creamery or a good gelato place and they've got some interesting flavors.
That's the difference.
Yeah, it's just like, well,
But
I
if
do
you're
kind of
trying-
want to try a few.
But if you're trying chocolate and vanilla...
okay, well, yeah.
Red.
If people, yeah, they're clearly pulling your leg.
but if
they're
you
doing
want
that.
like, I don't know what's a weird flavor, pistachio and...
No, but sometimes they have
Something.
weird mixes you haven't heard, like good ice creameries, that's the stuff. Then I think, yeah, if you've never been
Play
there
on.
before, you don't know what they taste like. I think you're going to want to try a few.
Okay, I'll say green light
I'm saying green light, but like
in that capacity.
Yeah, but see, I'm also saying green light even if you just want freebies.
No, that's a red light for me. Have some
I
respect.
still back it, I think.
All right, we're going to go to your song of the week. Ready?
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to go first.
Sure.
I don't know if I've said this song. Also, before we get into this, last week we got in trouble because Kate, who put our In the Green Room song playlist together,
Yeah.
you called her a fan. She works here.
Oh, well, I didn't know Kate did it. As in, I obviously know Kate. I didn't know Kate put it together for us.
Oh.
I thought you told us. I thought you told me it was a fan.
Well, she's a fan of the show. That counts.
Yeah, okay, but
But she wasn't happy.
okay, then I need to apologise to her.
You do.
because,
I think it should come from you, not me.
Yeah.
So I actually didn't do anything wrong. So thanks
Except
to...
for tell me that a fan put it together, not Kate.
This doesn't come back to me, mate.
Has
so
Kate put them together though? Did she still put the songs in?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Kate. I need to. Yeah, well, I do need to apologise.
You need to get to her
I
and
feel bad.
apologise.
This is your fault though. You told me it was a fan. I know you told me that.
Do you know what the story of this club is?
Okay.
Is things go down and it just comes back to Jacob.
No,
I haven't done anything wrong here.
that's not true. Okay, why would I have guessed, or like if I knew that Kate had done it, would I call her a fan?
No.
Okay,
So that's on you,
The
mate.
only reason I knew that it was a thing, who told me that it was a thing?
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So my-
All of a sudden, logic hits, mate. I
know
don't
that
think you
song?
have done that song either, by the way.
Track.
It sounded pretty nice.
All my friends back home will understand the significance of that song. It is an absolute track.
Really?
Yep.
Would you like to share that, or is it a bit of an in-joke?
The significance? No, I wouldn't say it's an in-joke. I would say, so every year we get together. I think we've spoken about it before. Every year we get together in Canberra.
Thickness?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we have a Excel spreadsheet. So there's a group chat that everyone puts songs in.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the year before Thickness, an Excel spreadsheet's made. So it might be like 100 songs or 150 songs. Then you vote for your top. And that's what won last year.
Right. I was going to say, you have said that before. So it's like a
It's like a hottest 100, essentially,
of your
yeah,
own
but
tracks.
for ours. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that won this year. And it was like, you know, it's a big day of drinking. And that's what comes on at the end. And you just all around each other. It's unbelievable feeling.
Yeah.
So shout out to all my friends.
Yeah. Shout out to them.
What do you got, Tom?
I back it. Well, mine's kind of a weird.
Shock.
Well, it's not weird. It's not even a rap at all. Mine's actually going to be Boom Clap by Charlie XCX. Bit of a throwback song.
Wow, that is old.
Yeah.
This one.
We need to find a chorus. I want to hear her say it, you know?
Finally one I can get around. I love that song.
Not finally, okay? I do have mixed it up. You, for some reason, again, a guest comes on and you like to go, oh, Tom always does rap. No, I
You
mix it
do.
up. Look, go check the playlist that Kate, not a fan, Kate put together. I've got a mix up.
Okay.
But anyway, Boom Clap. I heard it the other day and I was like, that's a track.
There are some good old songs.
By the way,
Charlie
everyone-
XCX actually has some.
That's what I was going to say. Everyone was big on her her last album, Brat, obviously, but like Charlie's been
Back in the day.
Charlie's been making bangers.
Wow. That is great. I'm going to listen to that on the way home.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. You're loving that. It's a great throwback
it's in
song,
my head.
isn't it?
It's just catchy.
Yeah, it is. I've got another thing I want to talk about, by the way. I'm ready for the next segment.
We don't have a next segment.
I've just thought of one.
All right, so no poem yet. We're going to a new
Yeah.
segment. This is crazy.
No, to be honest, it's not even a new segment. Well, it is a new segment, but it's more just like it's
I
not.
just
even-
wanna talk.
Yeah, no, it's not a segment. It's actually just a story.
Okay.
I had a story that I forgot to sort of bring on. I don't know if when this happened, but it happened last week. But it's actually shout out to a fellow podcaster.
Ooh. Not sure about shouting out the competition.
No, well, like we're not really in competing spaces here, but it's shout out to Abbie Chatfield because
Yeah, definitely not competing spaces.
look, I assume she must live around where Rika and I live in Tamarama because we live across the road from two great cafes. One's My Flower Man. They probably don't both want to be shouted out because they're competing with each other.
and M Deli.
Yeah, well, let me just get to it. I was going to say my flower man just does coffee and it's a flower shop as well. So cool setup. And then on Friday and Saturday nights, they do drinks. Great spot. And then M Deli does a lot more food. Like their food stuff is unbelievable. Great coffees as well. A lot of different stuff. Both great setups. But Ricker and I were just having a coffee the other day at M Deli because M Deli is our main one. Also, shout out to Patrick, who is a big football fan.
Does he listen?
I don't know if he knows that we have a podcast. Yeah, you and I have a podcast.
Drop that next time you have a coffee.
Yeah, I might have to. I see him like every day though. Like they're getting a coffee every morning. But anyway, Ricker and I were having a coffee there the other morning. We were sitting out the front, just chilling, and I think maybe Billy, our old roommate, had mentioned that he'd seen either Abbie or her boyfriend like around there semi-regularly. So again, they must live by there. But anyway, Abbie clearly ordered something, and then sort of the area you picked that up from in M Deli, Ricker and I were sitting right next to it. She had her little dog. Her dog came over to Ricker and I, so we sort of gave it a bit of a pat, and then just had a chat with her. I don't think she knew us. Like I don't expect her to know us.
She wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah, I don't expect her to know us at all. But she was lovely. We just had a quick chat. She was saying her dog's name was Walter, little Wally. Her boyfriend had recently moved in. She was staying with her, and so
He's from Canberra.
Yeah, he used to be part of Peking Duck. Is that right?
I think they're still together, but yeah.
Yeah, right. Sorry, but he also does solo stuff now, I believe too.
Yeah.
Anyway, and yeah, she was lovely. She was just talking about like Walter wasn't really used to guys because she lived with I think he was maybe a rescued 2 times or something like that or something. Wow. Now she was with Abbie, and so he was just like, I don't know, he's normally pretty shy and skittish around people, but he seemed like he was loving the pats from Ricker and I. Had really soft fur. So I had a bit of a chat with her, and yeah, she was lovely. So I was just saying that's the only thing I wanted to bring up was just a little bit of a story time because we hadn't just felt like we'd give another bit of a shout out to a fellow podcaster.
Respect.
And also shout out to, it sort of ties in with my trending topic from before. She's interviewed Anthony Albanese recently. She's also interviewed Adam Bant, the leader of the Greens. I think she reached out to Peter Dutton as well to come on the podcast, but I don't think he took that offer up. But the only reason I say like it sort of ties in from before is she's just sort of trying to get, the story from those different parties on their policies and that sort of stuff and helping inform her listeners. So shout out to her in that space, and shout out to Abbie because she was lovely. She was, Ricker and I had a great little interaction with her and her little dog Walter.
Shout out to Walter.
Shout out to Walter. Shout out to Abbie.
Nice.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's going to be a regular segment, catch-ups with Abbie, if they never happen again. But
people Tom runs into.
Maybe we should do that. Who'd we run into this week?
That's actually pretty funny.
It would be a funny segment.
It's one of those ones that we might
I feel like almost once yeah, well, that's true. But like once a week, you probably would bump into someone you haven't seen in a little while.
Well, we can take in turns. We're not both going to.
Yeah, exactly. But maybe we can do that. We can think about that. But anyway, yeah, hopefully I do bump into Abbie and Walter pretty soon. And
we'll get them on the podcast.
Get them around. That would be cool.
That would be cool. All right, poem. Ready?
Yep.
Tom, it's been a pleasure, but you've had your turn to speak. Now it's my turn. Let's recap the week. It's been a great episode. Look at Tom with that smirk. The bye week is over. Let's go back to work. This weekend we return from the bye. A clash with the Hawks, who are flying quite high. They've been impressive, showing their worth, but this weekend we bring them back down to earth. The weather will be awful, with potentially a light shower. Spoiler alert, the Wizard will lose his power. The media teams go head to head. There might be a brawl. They've got more followers, but they bought them all. They're not the best. They're not the worst. They think they're funny, but we did it first. This week we clash with one of the AFL's best teams. This week Tom thought he would see the girl of his dreams. Dua Lipa was a concert Tom missed. A chance with her is top of his list. So there's no doubt Tom's one of her biggest fans. He's got a better chance at getting a tan. That's all I've got this week. It was nothing crazy. It could have been a bit more effort, but well, I'm getting lazy. Tom's not fast. In fact, he's slow. Go get that win, and we'll go 3-0.
Well done, mate. Pretty good poem. One thing I just want to give a quick...
There's probably 2 things we need to address.
What's that?
Well, one is I changed that when reading it because in this, I thought you went to do a Lipa. And then we talked before and you were like, wouldn't
Yeah.
even go.
Also, like, you know, this whole thing, Girl of My Dreams, is that it's not Dua Lipa. It's Poppy. So, you know, you can't, like, I think we just needed to, you know, just like clear that up in there. And then
That's how it's done, folks.
and then the other one was, you said the weather down there, sorry, was going to be terrible.
Mate, sometimes I just try and find rhymes.
Yeah, I don't think the
come at me
weather's
for-
going to be terrible. I think it's meant to be pretty nice.
It is, yeah, it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, so why'd you say the weather's going to be terrible?
I needed something to rhyme with wizard. Yeah, name something else that's not blizzard. It's tough. Real tough.
Wizard, blizzard,
Blizzard is...
lizard.
Well, I'm not going to have a go at Nick Blakey, am I?
You sort of always find a way to have a crack at the Swans.
You're right. I should have just had a go. Nah, they're coming. They're not on our level yet.
Gizzard. I believe gizzard is a part of a bird.
I'm not... Oh, yeah, great. That works.
Yeah, hawks. They might have a
clip
gizzard.
clip the gizzard. Something is the wizard. Come on. You just leave this to me, all right? You leave this to me.
Yeah, no, pretty good poem, mate. I didn't mind it.
You going to rate it?
We didn't rate it last week. Bucks just sort of said, yeah, good. Did you notice that?
He's so funny, Bucks.
Yeah, he is. People loved having him on.
He's so funny.
You know who else we need to get
that
on again soon?
inspirational thing was so funny.
Yeah, credit to you as well. The video was perfect for those Hope Core things. Like, you did it really, really well.
It was just and Will as well, but like it was that trend of the Hope Core stuff is so funny. And when Buck said the banana thing, it was like, this is perfect.
Yeah, it
like,
is.
We've had it saved for so long to do one.
Have you really?
Yeah, like, but I've been waiting for like something in a press conference or something.
Yeah.
But then when Buck said the banana thing, and like your laugh in the background, it's just put it in a book.
Yeah, it was. It was perfect. But my rating's going to be an 8.1.
Pretty good. Happy with that.
Yeah, it was pretty solid.
Pretty
Just had to
happy with that.
clarify a few things, but
Glad we got there.
Yep, all good.
Well, you can do your outro. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you very much. It's exciting. But yes, thank you very much to Dave. Shout out to Dave first
out
and
Dave.
foremost.
And Baker's
Thank you
Delight.
very much for the Lakers kit. Shout out to Speedo. Also shout out to Baker's Delight. Feel free to sponsor us. But thank you very much for another fantastic week in the Green Room, listeners. Your interaction with us, sending through plenty of questions, plenty of red light, green light is absolutely fantastic. We love having it on.
Can I add something?
Yep.
Now that they send questions,
Yep.
red light, green light, tell us who you ran into.
Yeah. Tell us who you ran into. But make it cool. Make it cool like mine. Thank you very much for another week. Yeah, the interaction's fantastic. Make sure to send us through to any family members and friends. Spread the In the Green Room love. You can find us on all major streaming platforms, and you can also watch us on YouTube. Thank you very much. Have a fantastic week, and we'll see you then.